Alright. I am tired, but I have to keep going. Why? Because I want to do as much. There's always so much to do every single day. Whether it's being productive, making videos, live streaming, trying to finish a game. I should have gone yesterday. Okay, let's actually crop this. There we go. And then, yeah. Alright, let's continue. Oh my god. When we last left off, we started the second half of the game. The Adventure of the Blossoming Attorney, where we actually play as SUSATO. And we just did a little bit first guy. Oh god. First part of that, so we are back in Japan with SUSATO-san, and we're going to do a new case of a new murder of someone we already know from the very first case of the first half of the game. Alright. Oh god, don't fall asleep, don't fall asleep. Forensic medicine premiere. Right. Pulling a blade from a stab from a wound without thinking could cause heavy bleeding. That's basic knowledge that any medical research assistant with an ounce of sense ought to know. In other words, there's no good reason why the defendant have tried to pull the knife from the victim. Let's not forget that the young student did have a motive for killing the victim. The man the victim murdered... The man the victim murdered 9 months ago, Dr. Wilson, was the defendant's highly respected mentor. Is what you just said true, Inspector? Could pulling a knife from a wound really cause a wound to bleed heavily? Yes. Think of the weapon as a stopper in the wound that prevents excessive blood loss. Until the doctor is ready to provide proper treatment, that stopper shouldn't be removed. Oh, I see.
Ha! This is why yokels should stay on the farm. Yes, even a quack from some obscure mountain village would have such basic knowledge. Anyone who's ever given someone a little poke with a knife and pulled it out again knows it. Oh, well, I've never stabbed anyone, you see, or pulled a blade out of a wound, so...
Of course you haven't. I didn't bring you up to behave like a bandit.
Father, is it true what they're telling me?
Yes, it's basic remedial knowledge for medics. Ray would have been well aware of it. If you were to claim ignorance of such fundamentals, that would prove fatal in many ways.
But then, why would Ray have done it? Could she have pulled out that knife in full knowledge that it would be fatal for Miss Brett?
I don't know.
Ray never once mentioned anything about the knife to me. It seems almost impossible to believe, but could my friend actually have?
SUSATO.
Yes.
Pull yourself together. We mustn't lose sight of why we're here. Because we are. That's all I have to say. Counsel, it's time for your cross-examination.
Oh, yes, Your Excellency.
However, I must warn you that if your cross-examination fails to identify any issue with the established facts, I will be moving to my adjudication immediately afterwards.
Oh, time to slam my face again. I understand. Believing in your clients and fighting for their cause until the bitter end. I knew it would be hard, but I had no idea it would be this hard.
It's the first case of the second game. It's gonna be easy. It's gonna be very easy. Okay. Look away from nothing cause heavy bleeding.
Hold it! You say doing it without thinking could be a problem. Does that mean that if you use due care and attention, it could be alright?
I would have thought this needed spilling out, really. But the blade is likely a stopper in the wound. Remove it, and a serious hemorrhage will occur. In other words, a medic would need present before any attempt was made to withdraw the blade. Also, I have a turtle on my head. Doing it without thinking would be madness. You can't just do it.
Oh, well, thank you for such a thorough explanation.
Dang it.
You see, Kanto, when you act without thinking, the result is a bloodbath. Yes, I think I need to take a bloodbath.
normal bath.
No, not a bloodbath.
Back to the witness testimony, please. Yes. As basic knowledge that any medical research without an ounce of sense ought to know.
Hold it! In that case, there's an obvious explanation here.
Which is?
I smacked my hand. Clearly, the defendant, Ray Mambe-san, does not possess an ounce of sense.
What do you think about that, Professor Mikotoba? I'm not sure that you should be labeling your best friend as lacking in common sense.
Well, I thought it would be better than labeling her as a murderer.
I don't know. Young people today. If that's friendship, I don't understand. Maybe that is friendship. Maybe that's how I treat all my friends.
Careful, Counsel. A lack of common sense can be a very dangerous thing.
Oh dear. That's recoiling on me rather badly.
That's life, I'm afraid. A lesson everyone must learn. Hopefully you can see now this is really basic medical knowledge. Being involved in medical research, Mbambi-san would have certainly been aware of it.
So you can't plead ignorance.
In other words, there's no good reason why the defendant would have tried to pull the knife from the victim.
Even though I don't know what to object to, I feel like that is a statement you could object to. Is it possible? Is there a good reason why? Why would there have been a good reason? Can't. See photo. Huh. One report. 3 miles says people constriction was observed from eyes. Huh. Hold it!
But the defendant had suddenly encountered somebody she knew lying on the ground, bleeding to death. The sight could have shocked her delicate sensibilities, causing her to remove the blade inadvertently.
I really don't think that inadvertently actions can explain this. The woman is a medical research assistant. I can't imagine she would behave so irrationally.
Oh, but irrational behavior is a woman's prerogative, isn't it?
Oh dear, you have a lot to learn about women. Only a small-minded man could have such bigoted views.
Oh dear, perhaps I'm letting my male persona take hold a little too much.
Well, I have managed to convey the basics now. That should cover the medical side of the argument. Let's not forget that the young student did have a motive for killing the victim.
Hold it! Whatever the motive, it isn't just Mbambi-san's nature to do something so awful.
But she had both motive and opportunity. That's very hard to argue against.
But you don't know the defendant.
Objection! I don't. And you, Kanto, do not appear to know the law.
Yes, evidence is the only way to convince the court of your argument, not feelings.
With this, fledgling to defend her, I would almost say I pity the accused.
So do I.
Inspector, you will reiterate your point about the defendant's motive, please. Ah, yes. Miss Brett was in many ways a sworn enemy of Mbambi-san. The man the victim murdered 9 months ago. Dr. Wilson was the defendant's highly respected mentor.
Is that true? Send press. Where are the people in here? I don't see the people. She said he's in debate people critical about the discussion. It doesn't say much about the discussion. Huh. Okay.
Hold it! Well, yes, that's true. Dr. Wilson recognized Mbambi-san's talent and offered her the position of assistant despite her being a woman. She was extremely grateful to him.
Yes, the Englishman appears to have been a very broad-minded individual. Dr. Wilson had no time for outdated traditions. He met with opposition, of course, but he believed firmly in Mbambi-san's abilities. Clearly, the defendant was in the man's debt, which only serves to prove my point.
Okay.
This is hopeless. I can't find a single crack in this testimony anyway. If Ray knew that withdrawing the knife from the wound would have threatened Miss Brett's life further, I just can't think of any way to explain why she did it.
SUSATO, it's at times like these when it's especially important to remember the fundamentals.
Fundamentals?
Evidence is what counts in the courtroom, is it?
Of course, but I've been through the court record dozens of times already.
I think perhaps you're forgetting something, though. You wouldn't take the evidence at face value. You can and must examine it in greater detail. I realize this is your first time playing the role of lawyer in the courtroom. So if you need reminding of the rudiments, you need only ask. I'll do my very best.
Examine the evidence in the court record. It's an idea, certainly. What should I do?
Ask for a refresher.
Yes, Father. Spartan guidance is what I need.
I think that might be overdoing it a little slightly, but very well. So open the court record first of all. Now let's take a look at that fountain pen, which was submitted as evidence recently. Let me press X.
Yes, the initials are in. There they are, clearly engraved in the barrel.
Using that, you can look at the piece of evidence from my goals. You should have a good look at everything to make sure you haven't missed any clues.
Yes, I will. I just need to rotate the pen. Let's go to for anything out of the ordinary then.
Okay. Huh. What is this?
There's some sort of emblem here, look. But it is a New May University one.
It must belong to some other organization, I suppose. A business of some kind. That would seem to imply the pen doesn't in fact belong to Ray. It carries the initials of our so the emblem of some description.
Pulling a blade from the wound without thinking could cause it.
If we take off the pen's lid,
Huh. Now what? Nothing would happen.
now let's unscrew the barrel, shall we?
There's no ink.
This must be the reservoir that holds ink.
Yes, you fill by drawing from the bottle up to the nib.
Is something wrong, Father?
Just that there doesn't actually appear to be any ink there, that's all.
Oh yes, you're right. It's pretty much empty. Well, it could be on the verge of running out, I suppose.
There is very amounts of liquid inside ink reservoir. Alright, examine that. RM.
The arm details are very clearly engraved here.
And the fact that Miss Brett was clinging to this pen in her dying moments is clearly a message too.
To identify a killer, you mean?
I don't think there can be any doubt that this is a key piece of evidence in this case. Okay, I've already examined everything I could about this pen. Nothing else to examine. But whatever details I got, there's very small and an emblem of some description. Okay, very small ink and an emblem. Could that be anything? I don't know. Basic knowledge, medical research assistant for the notes. There's no good reason why the defendant would have tried to pull the knife. Don't forget that the student did have a motive for killing the victim. The man the victim murdered 9 months ago was a respected man. Okay. Basic knowledge, any medical research assistant with an ounce of sense might know. Okay, I'm kind of stuck here. Even on the very beginning. All I have is the pen. Would the pen actually help anything? Because medical research assistant with an ounce of sense, basic knowledge. In other words, there's no reason why the victim would have tried to pull the knife from the victim. Wait, what was the... No, that was just there. Very small liquid inside the ink reservoir. Emblem of some description that doesn't belong. Let's not forget the young student did have a motive for killing the victim. The man the victim murdered 9 months ago was that. No good reason. Basic knowledge. Any medical research assistant
Should ought to know. There's gotta be something. I don't know. Should I just check? Because there's not much to go on. I feel like pulling a blade. We examined the knife, and it has an organization. Is that enough to do anything? Found pen with the initials RM and an emblem of some description. I've seen photograph. She has a pen from some other organization. So that's not going to directly contradict this. What we're talking about, basic knowledge, any medical research assistant with an ounce of sense ought to know. In other words, there's no good reason why the defendant would have tried to pull the knife from the victim. Let's not forget the young student did have motive for killing. Man murdered. Let's just go through the whole thing again.
Hold it!
Skip. I'm literally acting without thinking. Okay, so that got the same thing. Basic knowledge that any medical research assistant. This is the only part I could contradict. Any medical research assistant. But the pen that we found belongs to a different thing. So... okay. I'm probably gonna screw up, but envelopes of description, there's this very small amount of liquid. Objection! Nope, I frigged up. I frigged up, and I don't know what to do. I seriously don't know what to do. I'm stuck already. Because I'm tired. Hold it. We try the obvious explanation, which is... clearly, the defendant does not possess common sense. Nope. You can't disassociate. That's not gonna do it. There's gotta be something. Oh, God. Being involved in medical research, she would have known. In other words, there's no reason why the defendant would have tried to pull the knife from the victim. Hold it! I'm stuck. But the defendant has suddenly encountered somebody she knew lying on the ground, bleeding to death. Decided it could have shocked her for a delicate sensitive. I don't really think an inadvertent action can explain this. When as a medical research student, I can't imagine she would behave so irrationally. Oh, but I should... Am I gonna have to pull the walkthrough? I'm gonna have to pull the walkthrough. The young student did have a motive for killing the victim.
Hold it!
Oh, really? The motive is just to do something so awful. But she had both motive and opportunity.
Objection!
Oh, God. I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. Let's see, the only way to convince the court, not feelings. Ago, Dr. Wilson was the defendant's highly respected mentor. That's it, I'm pulling out the walkthrough. Oh my god, I must really suck at this. Walkthrough. Oh my god. Resolve story. What am I not getting? Resolve story. The adventure of the Great Departure. Parcel. Last bow. Oh my god. Blossoming Attorney. Part 1. My god. I'm already stuck. Fountain pen. Witness. Wait, what? After that, press the statements however you wish, and then present the post-mortem report. No, I already went through that. New evidence of the pen. The back of the newspapers. Wait, what? The the poison article. New evidence. Witness testimony, primary, the man, let's go. If you press everything here and go to the end, you'll get a lecture for other. We have some evidence. First, inspect the pen. Get to update it twice by looking at the bottom. This does not seem to change the pen. The other thing you see is a new piece of evidence by examining the newspaper on the back of the newspaper. Really? You can examine the back of the newspaper? How come that wasn't available when I saw it? Oh, God. Oh, now you can. There's a newspaper article from Soseki-sen. There seems to be an important article on the back page as well. Exclusive. Deadly poison stolen from Yume Medical Research Laboratory. From Yume's Medical Research. Father, isn't that your lab? What the? Let me see that. The poison's been stolen? It's this morning's paper that Soseki-san gave us. Are you saying you didn't know? Oh my god, everything's gone to crap. Oh god, I don't know what happened there. Alright, I fixed it. Where on earth could the reporter have gleaned this information? Come to think of it, there's no article mentioning the story in our paper this morning, was there? It's a highly toxic poison we were working on the strictest controls. I put Ray in charge of the project. Ray? She was managing it? If what's written here is true, it means that she's trying to hide the theft from me. And moreover, the details were leaked somehow. I don't believe it. We need to read this article very carefully. An article of a poison was stolen from you, even my father, who was knew nothing of the accident. Okay. Is that even necessary? Gracious England, retrees, hello. This is an interview with you and Soseki-sen, isn't it, father? It's as though it was quite an exchange. Yes, he became a little animated when he was talking about his time in England. The photograph I managed to capture a moment of the hand karate chopped me in the neck. I do hope you won't hurt. Okay. Have I examined everything? No. Okay. So what am I missing? That's the real question. That's why I'm so stuck all the time. Now for cross-examination, you want to present the poison article as statement 3. What? Poison article, statement 3. Wait, what? The poison article at statement 3. Uh-huh. There's no good reason why the defendant would have tried to pull the knife from the victim. Here! This is what happens when I'm tired. I go half-assed on everything. No, there's one possibility. So that word. One very good reason why the defendant might have decided to withdraw the knife from the victim's wound. What? Ha! Ugh. Ha! The yokel not only has a poor grasp of law, but also a poor loser. Tell us then, what possibility do you think you've identified? It's here, in this newspaper article. An article about a deadly poison that had been stolen from a laboratory at the Imperial University. Objection! The victim perished from a stab wound. Poison has no relevance in this case. But...
Prosecutor Archie, you will let the defense speak.
But a newspaper article. The court cannot rely on that kind of hearsay from those wretched publications, Carrie.
Counsel for the defense. I'm going to need some tangible basis for your claim. You will indicate to the court precisely what part of the article affirms your assertion.
Your Excellency!
Yes, of course. Thank you. Ray would never have done something to further endanger Miss Brett's life without just cause. The reason why the defendant pulled the knife from the victim's body is explained in the article. It says, deadly in tiny quantities. The article reveals the following property about the poison in question. When the toxin enters the body on a knife laced with the poison, it's rapidly absorbed and causes death in minutes.
Are you suggesting?
If the knife used to attack Miss Brett was laced with this very poison, it would explain why the defendant, Membabe-san, would have withdrawn the blade as soon as possible. Yes, the truth is, it was an attempt to stop the poison from entering the victim's body!
What?
Objection!
That is complete and utter nonsense.
Not at all. The defendant withdrew the blade from the victim's body not to accelerate the woman's demise, but to save her life, and the prosecution cannot deny the possibility.
Have you not read the post-mortem report? The cause of death was hemorrhage. The word poison appears nowhere in the document.
Well, that's because by acting quickly to remove the blade, the defendant prevented the poison from taking hold.
Objection!
Oh, please, this is clear declaration. There was a last breaking of wind. Did I just make a fart joke on the stand? Poison has nothing whatsoever to do with the case, as I believe the defense is well aware. We have no proof that the information in this washed newspaper is all reliable anyways.
In that situation, what the student should have done is wait for medical assistance to arrive. But instead, you claim she suspected poison and took the potentially lethal decision to remove the blade. She must have had a strong reason for her suspicions then, or the argument makes no sense!
Exactly! Well put, Inspector. What grounds did she do it, Yoko? Never really knew about a knife. Okay, what grounds? The pen that the victim was holding?
Why did Ray suspect the stolen poison was involved? If you want grounds, I'll give you grounds.
What?
You can't possibly!
From your expression, counsel, it would appear those are not empty words. But naturally, as you stand in this courtroom as a lawyer, you must be aware that words alone, empty or not, are of no value in our modern justice system. The court demands evidence.
Yes, Your Excellency. I'm well aware of that. I've seen it many times from my place at his side in the Old Bailey.
Hi! Kang, 1, 2, 3. Hi! Ah, shit. Hi! Wait, can I hear myself on there? Yeah, I can hear myself on there. Alright, I gotta turn the volume somewhere down. Alright, there we go. How are you, Kang? How is it? Okay, if I was to support anything, why would there be poison? There's a small amount of liquid still inside the ink reservoir. So, I think the reason why, the only reason, is because this pen was found clutched in the victim's hand. And Ray must have wondered, why would that be? Because it has a small reservoir for liquid. Plus, the accused.
In that case, defendant, you'll present proof to the court now. What evidence demonstrates a clear link between this case and the poison article?
The fountain pen itself.
How exactly will you explain this piece of evidence connection to the newspaper article?
In truth, I'm not really sure. But my father always taught me to ask the elders when I was in trouble, so I thought I should ask your opinion, Your Excellency.
Did I frig up?
If it is advice you seek, counsel, then I suggest that before indiscriminately thrusting evidence on my nose, why not thrust it on the nose of a professor at your side?
I think he means you.
And I think I frigged up.
Good grief, thrusting that under my nose isn't going to solve anything here. Let's use our heads. The article on the paper had details of the toxin. Now, where have we seen similar details? Does Noah come to mind?
Okay, it's not the pen.
We ought to search through all the evidence looking for that.
If I'm not mistaken, it would appear the advice the others are giving you an idea.
Not the pen.
Guess I'd like another chance to present evidence, if I may, Your Excellency.
In that case, counsel, you'll present the proof to the court now. What evidence demonstrates a clear link between this case and the poison in the news article?
I think it's a post-mortem report. Because it clearly states on the notes, extreme meiosis pupil constriction was observed in the victim of both eyes. Would that not be a symptom? Take that! There we go.
I would ask the court to refer to the notes section of the post-mortem report, which reads, extreme meiosis, pupil constriction, was observed in the victim.
Ah!
Clearly, being a yokel with no knowledge of forensic science, I have no idea, so please do tell me. Presumably, the fact that this condition of the victim was noted in the post-mortem report means that it's an unusual symptom of death.
Tis well!
Under normal circumstances, the pupils dilate when someone dies. If there was extreme constriction instead, that's most certainly unusual, yes.
What are you doing, you yokel detective?
In the newspaper. Why are you calling him yokel detective? In the newspaper article, there's the following information about the stolen poison. Onset of symptoms occurs in minutes, ending with acute contraction of pupils prior to death.
What?
If the defendant, upon seeing the victim stabbed in the back, happened to notice that the pupils of Miss Brett's eyes had constricted severely.
Yes, as a medical research assistant, she would have suspected poison immediately, without doubt.
Prosecutor Alchi, I think you'll agree. This is a very compelling evidence.
You! Yokel student, yokel professor!
I believe the defense has expertly demonstrated a credible reason for the defense actions.
No!
Eugene Mikko Topa. Yes, Your Excellency. I believe you're best placed here to confirm or deny the veracity of the defense counsel's argument. You will tell the court the truth about the detailed report in this newspaper, please. It pains me to have to admit it, but I'm afraid I don't know. You don't know. The toxin was kept under lock and key in the laboratory, certainly, but I was unaware of any theft. Do you mean to tell the court that the reports of this theft are unfounded? No, Your Excellency. Without returning to the laboratory to investigate myself, I couldn't say.
Ha! Listen to the bumbling academic. Unaware of the theft of secret state research from his own workplace until he reads it in the newspaper!
I take full responsibility for the incompetence of my supervision.
Father,
Tis! A pitiful situation for a university pro- Oh wait, you said father? Oh wait, never mind. I'm surprised you didn't see that. You have to have more control of your students rather than allowing them off on killing sprees.
that's totally unfounded.
Alright, who was it? There's Ray.
No, this is Professor Mikotobo's fault. It's all my fault. Ray,
Membabi-san, you stand accused here. Outbursts like this will not be tolerated.
but it was me. I was the one who noticed that the poison we were developing had been stolen that day.
What?
So you knew. I'd been placed in charge of overseeing the project. Yeah, it was the day the professor and Soseki-san were interviewed together for the newspaper. That's when I noticed that some of the poison was missing. Just a tiny amount it was.
Why didn't you let me know immediately?
I was scared. The whole project was supposed to be confidential, but some of the toxin has somehow been taken. So, I decided to try get it back before anyone else.
And it's 9 o'clock and I'm tired already. You know what, fine, take the melatonin. Why not? Just go for it. Just freaking go for it. Yeah. We'll take 2, because, actually, no, 3. I'll do it. That'll help me go straight under. So good. Chocolate flavored. Yeah, I gotta refill my water bottle.
Because I have a very good idea who the thief was. You don't mean... Yes, of course. It was that dainty English woman.
Miss Giselle Bratz.
That's why I decided to join the little group of people going to the seaside. Inside the beach hut, I confronted Miss Brett. But she just sat on the stool on the back of the hut, smiling sweetly as if she knew she was untouchable. I knew it was you who stole the voice.
Well, now, whatever do you mean?
And then, she suddenly got her to her feet, before falling to her knees in front of me and then collapsing on the floor.
What the hell?
That's when I saw the knife in her back. I couldn't understand what had just happened. And then, a moment later, I was seized with fear. The pupils of her eyes had shrunk to tiny pinpoints.
I don't believe it. In other words, you have realized that the victim was suffering the effects of the stolen poison.
My mind started racing. I hadn't seen anything past Miss Brett's lips when I last had been with her, which left only one possible way for the poison to have entered her body. On the blade of the knife in her back.
And that train of thought was that spurred you to withdraw the blade.
Yes, if the amount that had entered her bloodstream was small enough, she might still have a chance. That's what I'd hope. Really, I'm so sorry for staying silent all this time.
Your attempt to hide the truth of what happened is not something that can be overlooked. However, I have duly noted with courage which you confessed in the end.
Thank you, Your Excellency. It's barely perceptible, but I do think the balance has shifted a little here in this courtroom now.
Objection!
Your Excellency, do not be deceived. The victim just collapsed before your eyes, you say? Well, Member-san, if that's the case, perhaps you could explain how Miss Brett came to be stabbed.
Well,
You have no answer because the simple truth is that you stabbed the victim, motivated by revenge.
Objection!
but you have no conclusive evidence to prove that assertion, do you?
Actually, I do. Oh! I have evidence, and that is very much conclusive.
What's the prosecution counsel up to? It was brief, but he hesitated for a moment there. I'm almost sure of it. Maybe he doesn't. But then again...
You'll produce the aforementioned evidence and warrants prosecute Ouchie.
Perhaps some praise is due, young yokel student.
What?
I'd imagine there would be no need for me to submit this evidence. But you brought this on yourself!
What the... Could be more damning shots existed. The cruelty in the air of the beach is almost palpable.
This evidence, more than any other, reveals the true extent of the accused's murderous nature. For it shows the precise moment that Member-san plunged a dagger in the victim's back.
No! That's not true! No! I don't believe it. Ah!
Order, order, order! Counsel for defense. Was it you who was responsible for the shrill scream that just pierced my courtroom?
Perhaps his voice has yet to break. Those yokels are slow of minded and slow to mature.
I'll show you who's slow to mature.
Careful now. SUSATO is starting to show a face here. It is often said that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and what we here is ample proof. The court will accept this extremely cogent photographic print as evidence.
Photographic print taken by the moment the victim was checked. A frame rate can be seen kneeling over Miss Brett.
I can't believe it. He's had a photograph like this and up the sleeve the whole entire time. It's such a stark image. I'm genuinely lost for words. Wait a minute. I don't understand. How did you... I mean, who took that photograph? Ray.
Objection!
listen up, no points here. Stop trying to divert their attention.
Oh,
Objection!
Yes, who did take the photograph?
that's an absurd thing to say. It's crucially important. Whoever took this photographic print was a witness to Miss Brett's death. Courts must be allowed to hear this person's testimony.
Ah!
I will hold the defense's demand. The prosecution will reveal the identity of the person responsible for taking the photographic once.
Well, I'm afraid I can't do that.
Pardon?
You see, this print arrived at the Imperial Palace Police Bureau headquarters by express post yesterday, but there was nothing to indicate the sender's name or address. The provenance of the print is unknown.
Goodness!
Are we to understand then, counsel, that in full knowledge of the fact that this photographic has the murkiest of origins, you nevertheless believed it fit for submission as evidence in the Supreme Court?
When you first produced that print before, I noticed that you had to say it for a brief moment. Because you knew that it wasn't completely reliable evidence, didn't you?
Silence! You Yoko student blabbing professor! What matters is the blatant truth that this print is so eloquently expresses.
But the defendant has already admitted to pulling the blade from the wound. Clearly, this isn't the moment that the knife was plunged into the victim's back, but
The moment it was withdrawn. Don't waste this court's time with your ramblings.
Indeed. Without knowing knowledge of who produced this print, we have no means of verifying the claim. And the state of it captures is without the doubt most compelling evidence to present in the court. If the defense is unable to shed any further light on the matter, I believe the conclusion is clear.
oh no.
SUSATO, this is the time for you to fight.
To demand that whoever took the photo come forth. I really gotta. Oh god, I'm so tired, but I gotta come up with something really good right then and there. Oop, who the hell?
It's time for you to fight. If what you established so far is true, then there can be no doubt. This photograph shows the moment that Ray withdrew the blade from the victim.
Yes, we just need to prove that somehow.
Tush! Hush! You'll have to have plenty of time to rue your defeat on the slow train back to the provinces. And to rue the day you come against the Taketsuchi Aochi in the court of law.
If I can't determine who took this photograph, then the trial is going to come to an end. There must be a clue somewhere. There must be some way of working out who took it.
I think I have an idea. Wait. I have one idea. Despite how tired I am, I have one pale idea. Because I can't. Let's see if I can muster up the energy. The photographer who took the photo caught the act really right in the instant it was. Which kind of reminds me of another piece of evidence. The same person who also took this photograph. The Soseki-san photograph. Containing an article of the discussion between father and debate became quite spirited.
There must be some way of looking out who took it.
Well, Counsel,
I have an idea. One idea. The slight idea. Oh, it's easy mode. Because it's the first case, of course Capcom wouldn't give you something hard right off the bat. So tired. But it's the only idea I can come up with. The only thing I can come up with without half-assing is just, that's it. Though haphazardly doing everything.
The burning question is who took that photograph? And the truth is,
I have the answer.
oh, slap my face. Oh yeah. This isn't about whether I can or can't come up with the answer now. I simply have to. The identity of the person who took this dramatic photographic print is, I assure you, something the defense can and will reveal.
What? No, you can't possibly. But, as you so boldly claim, you can please to enlighten us.
Unfortunately, I'm unable to present a name.
How utterly underwhelming. Do you really believe you could?
Now, however, I'm able to present evidence. The defense has a piece of evidence that reveals important details about the photographer's identity.
What?
Very well then, counsel. Present your proof to the court. Which piece of evidence do you claim reveals something about the identity of the photographer?
The Soseki Natsume article. This!
What is that? The newspaper again? Roush single and returnees tell all.
It's not the headline that's relevant here, Your Excellency. It's the photograph. If you look closely, you'll notice that there are some white lines on the right-hand side.
What? Oh, shit. I didn't realize the white lines. I did. Oh my god. I just thought it was like, oh, the photographer has a way of taking things in an instant.
I didn't realize the white lines. That was an oversight.
That's how tired I am. That's how, like,
Ah, yes, indeed. They had already caught my eye, as it happened.
How? What of it? A shadow of some kind, presumably, from the branch of a tree or the like.
There are no trees growing inside my laboratory at the university, I can assure you.
Now, if you look closely at this photograph,
Good gracious!
yes, exactly the same pattern of lines is present in this photograph too.
Objection!
Well, that tells us nothing. Ha! Yes, it's a shadow of some kind, exactly. It's the branch of a tree.
There wouldn't be any trees growing inside the hut at that beach, Council.
It's quite remarkable that the two patterns are almost absolutely identical. How could such an extraordinary similarity have transpired?
The curious matching pattern that appears on both photographic prints is a result of technique, camera defect, not some tree branches. Photographer's technique, camera defect. Camera defect? The photographer's... it's photographer's technique. A camera defect. I'd say that's a defect. Obviously, it must be due to the problem with the camera used to take photos.
With a photographic device?
Yes, we can confidently say the camera's lens must have been scratched. And the scratched lens caused unwanted lines to appear... that.
In short, the two photographs under consideration here were taken with the same camera.
But there must be hundreds of such camera devices in the capital. It would be utterly impossible to identify the owner of this particular one.
I think you're forgetting, Prosecutor Ouchie. That's one of the photographs featured in the newspaper article.
A newspaper? Ah!
That's right. The author of the article is the mystery witness to this crime.
What? Ah!
Many of what?
Wait, what was that?
I see why you were called a Roush's English attorney.
What are you yelling at? You're already testified.
It's a mini memo! I tell you! Mini memo! Mini memo!
Soseki-san, what was that? Did you say mini memo?
Ever since I returned to Japan, a reporter from the Shoyo News has been hounding me, following my every move. A reporter by the name of Brighton Mini Memo. Yes, hide me from dawn till dusk!
Ah, now that you mentioned that.
There was a reporter that...
The secretly spy, snapshots, triple stories, and discovering my privacy.
Could that same reporter be?
A camera to the left of them, a notebook to the right. There I am, struck in the middle with Brighton Mini Memo. Oh. So you're saying that the picture was taken by?
By many Mimo, yes! Oh, my lord, your excellency, Esquire!
Officer, find this newspaper reporter at once and bring him to my courtroom. We will adjourn for a short recess in the meantime. So tired, so tired.
Oh, yes, your excellency.
Really want to sleep.
As you say, Your Excellency.
I'm gonna live stream afterwards. I'm so freaking tired. And one more thing. I want this knife, the murder weapon, examined for traces of poison. You will solicit the assistance of the Imperial University's medical department for the task. Understood?
Meh. Minimum!
What the hell? What the hell is that? I gotta sleep. I'm so tired. It ain't easy trying to think of ideas when you have nothing, but that is what I do literally every day. Run on nothing. But I gotta work tomorrow at night because I found a new job. I had an interview yesterday, passed that interview, had an interview today. Not sure if I passed the interview, but I'll get a call back about it. But in the meantime, I gotta stop here. I'm tired. I gotta relax, because there's only so much I can do every single day. I know I keep saying that, and it's become a broken record, but literally, that's how I feel. In the meantime, I gotta stop here, and I will try, if anything, to do a live stream tomorrow. Alright?